Thank you, folks. Happy July 2nd. Always a pleasure giving out useful information to our residents. We'll start with, as we usually do, our town clerk report.
Okay. Just a reminder, this is the last week that nomination papers are available at the clerk's office for all the elected positions coming up in September. Papers are due back by Monday, July 8th for certification. The town office will be closed Thursday and Friday for July 4th and 5th. Just a reminder, on the 2023 taxes, 30-day lien notices will be sent out July 23rd, if you still owe any on that. We've been busy just working out, closing out last fiscal year, and starting to work on, think about town report stuff. So, I do have down the Text My Gov proposal and contract, since it was approved at the special town meeting. I don't know if you got a copy with you guys, or we can, it's just what was voted on, and we need some authorization signatures to get started. So. I did talk to Jonathan a little bit, and there is an actual widget that's going to go on to the website for people to sign up to get notifications. So all that information will be rolled out as soon as we have a project manager we're going to be working on, and we're going to be trained.
Okay.
So when I get more information, we'll get it to you and roll it out.
Good.
So, there's a whole bunch of things for,
I need signatures on the authorization, right there,
Agreement,
signature.
okay.
Yeah,
and just that,
yep,
name, title, date, signature. I'm gonna pass it over to Ed since,
yep. I
he's-
think you all can sign it. since
Okay.
yep.
okay. There's a widget contact, that would probably be you.
Yeah, and
Yep.
the implementation and everything.
And everything else, okay.
will probably be us, if
Oh,
that's okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, all three of you should sign it.
Okay.
So, yeah,
It didn't look like there was 3 spots.
just right somewhere in that block
Okay.
would be great.
All right.
And just listing the follow-up issues as well. I think we talked about the appointed positions that are
Mhm.
coming up. Just looking for Elijah Fox, some sort of description. That's an appointed position. The Piper Free is an elected position. We just need some descriptions on what they're gonna be doing or working on. And that's about it. Tax collection updates are below.
What have you had for nomination papers going out? You know?
One for planning board, one for Piper Free, 2 for select board, and that's about it. So
Okay.
4.
All right.
Wow, out of all those spots, huh?
Yep.
Still a lot of
Have a
empty
seat if
spots.
you want. Yeah.
That's been the trend.
All right, thank you, Daniel. Moving right along. Agendas and notes, we approve those. Bills to be paid. One significant bill, the total warrant was $214,000, but the new school budget is $177,000. So we're paying $170,000 a month into the school system. And we reviewed bills to be paid this week and next week. No ads to be reviewed. There is an ad in the shopping guide for next Tuesday, 6 o'clock. The comprehensive plan. The people that have worked on it so diligently over the last 2 years are putting together a slideshow and an explanation and want some input from the town. That's July 9th, 6 o'clock. Come and see what they've worked on. Code enforcement will be getting the monthly report in a couple of weeks. The state police is right on the ball. They sent us their information. They responded to 69 calls during the month of June. So they've taken, as you all know, they've taken over for York County. 18 of those calls were medical, and 8 of them citizen requested assistance. So those are the 2 major categories. Planning board meeting is July 17th, a couple of weeks away. Nothing on the appeals board. As I mentioned, the comprehensive committee, July 9th, 6 o'clock, to go over their results of 2 years of work. Secaucus Road update, land options. I don't know whether, Jen, has that recreation committee gone anywhere, done anything yet?
No, we haven't met.
Okay.
Yep.
You haven't met. Have we appointed anybody?
Well, I have two applications. but
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We need to appoint people before you start
Well,
meeting.
We'll get there.
No, process, folks, process.
We'll get there.
Okay, also on the, on Secaucus Road, I got an email from Soltage, and our term for their leasing the property runs from April 1st. So basically through July 20th, from April 1st, July 20th being 30 days after the letter that they sent us saying they were withdrawing. So I think it's 110 days. Let's see, I'm sorry, I should have had the number here, but I'm a little behind today. There it is. They will be sending us a check for $8,014 and change.
All right, and with that, we're looking to develop a recreation committee, and hopefully we can do something. We have about 20 acres of land that the town owns that's been recently, a few years now, it's growing back quickly, but is basically cleared and looking for some good activity. Monthly report will be coming out. We're waiting for a clear copy of the rescue contract so that we can sign it. We did receive $5,000 from the state of Maine. Reimbursement for LD 2003, sorry, housing. That was approved, the concept was approved at the special town meeting last week. And the state gave us money to help offset those costs. We have some renewable energy credits of $677, which I don't know what we can do with them right now. Does anyone?
I'm sorry.
The credits we get from solar? We put
Renewable
those back
energy
into the-
certificates, what is that?
Right,
Well, yeah, we would get any credits that were available.
Right.
The only credits are offset, and they only allow, I believe, offset what your fees would be.
right, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Streetlights under advisement, as I mentioned before, we've already reviewed all the streetlights a few years ago and feel comfortable with what we have, but we can look at it again.
Well, we have the quote from CMP to change to LEDs.
Right, that's what we'd have to look at again, because
Okay, all right.
there was some concern that LEDs were too bright.
Okay.
Do you want me to move that down to workshops?
That might be a good idea. We could,
What are we gonna workshop? I'm sorry.
well, we could bring up the discussion of what we talked about a couple of years ago, about whether we thought LEDs were too bright. There was some concern from a couple of residents that they were too bright, and that we should
Okay.
minimize the light as much as possible.
Okay, all right.
Now, whether that's a valid concern, I have no idea.
Well, to those people, obviously it is, but.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I just am not
It
sure
should
what
be
we're
a
gonna.
quick workshop if we
Okay.
have some of the information.
Okay.
Because we eliminated about 20 streetlights.
Mhm. Okay,
And those still would be eliminated, they wouldn't get,
Right, we're not
Right.
talking about adding anything
Right.
or eliminating any more, just reviewing what we have and seeing if we want to
Yeah.
switch to LED lights in effect.
yeah, yeah.
We did receive a check for $31,000 from the state for one of the FEMA storms. That goes back into our general fund and then hopefully gets transferred to the road. We're trying to figure out the method to do that, but it's been our wishes that money coming in that was spent for a specific reason, like repairing the roads, the money came out of road fund, it should go back into the road fund. So that's what we're trying to do. Road commissioner is working in, I guess, finished Stagecoach Road. And I think he's working on Mountain Road also out there, so.
I think Mountain Road is done, Stagecoach is done, and his next project is Cram Road,
Okay.
okay?
Cliff will be happy to hear that.
Cliff,
Forward.
Cram Road?
Yeah, he was concerned about that at that meeting.
Oh, okay.
What can I say? Jen and David have been working on the cannabis ordinance. Why doesn't Jen give us a little update on?
Oh, we have what's close to being a final draft that can be made into a ordinance that we can present as a public hearing. We have a tentative date in the middle of July. We're still waiting, a few tweaks that we want to send back to the lawyer and then have him send us a complete copy. And then we'll have it advertised and on the website and have a public hearing on it.
All right. Dave, do you have any?
I guess. Do you have
So-
anything else, Jen? Or-
I just wanted to say with the comprehensive planning committee meeting on Tuesday, that it doesn't change anything within the town in terms of land use or zoning. It is merely a vision of the future for Parsonsfield. And so we do welcome public input on it. It'll be a meeting at 6 should be in the shopping guide, and we'll have the draft ordinance. It's a lengthy document. It's about 100 pages on the website for people to look at.
Are you gonna put that on Facebook Live so people can listen to it, or?
We do have somebody who's gonna tape it. One of the guys' sons works for, does one of the Channel 2 things with the high school. He was gonna tape it so we could put that on the website,
Okay.
okay? I don't know that we'll meet in the planning board room. It might be that we meet in the gym,
Okay.
so. I don't know about moving all that equipment in there to tape it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Since people might wanna
Yep.
listen to it, they're gonna look for it, I guess, on Facebook Live. That's
Yeah.
probably.
We're meeting Monday, so we can run that through people too, yeah. Yep. Let's see, what else did I have? So many things that we're working on. We're working on the April 4th storm for FEMA, so money should be coming in at some point for that road repair. And Youthful Maine, I see here, July 18th. Okay. I think that's good.
All right, thanks, John. Dave, you?
Yeah, just a couple of things. Our solar monitor out there in the hallway, the website that we had been using that was a dynamic site that updated as the day went on doesn't exist anymore. So what does exist is a website that'll give you a snapshot. So on top of that, I can load something that will reload that website every 15 seconds, every minute, whatever. So it'll give us a dynamic update. The problem is that the Chrome stick, the computer behind that display, is old and can't be updated, and so anyways, and I can't install the kind of extension that we need to do that updating. So what I'm probably going to do, or hope to do, is take one of our old computers. I was going to think about using Debbie's old one, but she says she still needs that with Chris. So maybe one of Danielle's old ones, if they're still around and not being used. Because on those, which are Windows-based as opposed to Chrome-based, I can do it. I've been running it on my system all day and it seems to work fine. So I'll get to that sometime. And then the Boston Post-Cane, we're still working on. Danielle gave me a list of names, and I need to go back through it with her probably, because I'm not sure. Yeah, anyways. So hopefully next week we can have a nomination for the Boston Post-Cane. I think that's it.
Thank you. Just gonna look up something here. Well,
So do you want to schedule a workshop next week too, to, for the rescue contract? Or,
Debbie just gave us a copy of the new
Okay.
rescue contract. So
And do you have this in electronic form? Oh, okay, I didn't know that you had gotten anything.
no, no.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I would.
Is 21 the right date, 2021?
No, I mean, it's things like that that we need to change. We're going into a one-year contract.
Oh, not going,
Unless we want to wait until our regular town meeting, because we can ask the town if we can go into a 3-year contract. But probably we should get this in place, and then even so, ask the town if we can go into a 3-year contract, so that next year at this time, we won't have to worry about it, we can just do it. So yeah, I'd be up for a workshop on that next week.
2 o'clock? I don't know if anything else is scheduled. I don't have anything else scheduled for next week.
What did we talk about doing a workshop
hold on.
On,
We've been
just-
back and forth like
yeah,
all day on, so that would be on July 9th.
yes,
The only thing is the comp plan meeting at 6, so we're open in the afternoon.
yeah, okay, yeah. 2 o'clock's fine with me.
Got it, Dave?
Yeah, that's it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Two things, Rescues Board of Directors, we had an application from Mr. Patino. Reviewed his qualifications and seems highly qualified. So we're planning to appoint him to the Rescue Board of Directors as one of the representatives of Parsonsfield. So we have a little vote on that. We all,
Motion?
I'm gonna withhold my vote on that.
okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so that passes 2-0 with one abstention. And also just a little update. I've requested quotations from 3 companies to put some chain link fencing around the salt shed on Secaucus Road. And that's in progress. There's just a note on here, October 12th, which is a long way away, we'll have our tire drop off, but
We get a lot of questions about electronics. It's not happening.
electronic
Yes.
drop
Yeah,
off.
It is in
Scheduled.
September.
When is it?
I've been in touch with both Judy Ingram and Scott Cecil, and September 14th.
Is that at Walker?
Yes.
Judy was gonna place the ad, correct?
Let me look at my emails so I'm not lying, okay? I did get something about
I
it.
think she did.
Yeah. Yep. I did get something about an ad, so.
Now, did we discuss hazardous waste at all? As another,
Only that much.
okay. So I don't know if that's something we want to, we've had it once, that I remember.
Many years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Many,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know whether that's something we should consider also.
We should probably consider it, yeah, we should see what options are available. I mean, the paint now you can get rid of, and they've pretty much gotten rid of oil-based paint, so that's good. And I don't know, maybe it's just me that I'm thinking of, but I think a lot of people have cleaned out their old barns and gotten rid of stuff, and, but yeah, we should investigate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a one-time thing, maybe we could do it with the tires, who knows?
That's pretty quick. I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I'd be surprised too.
But, yeah, we should find out options.
All right,
I have a question.
you have a question?
The-
You've had your opportunity. Yes.
You mentioned that the recycling percentage is really down in Parsonsfield. Is that something that you can look at online, or is that a report you have?
You may be able to look at it. I don't know.
Okay,
It is from a report that I get.
okay. I
let
just
me
wanted
see.
to it is a recycling week, so I kind of wanted to snip it and put it out there so people could look at it.
I know that Judy Ingram has that information too,
Okay.
and that it actually had gone up a little bit at one point.
Yeah, it went up 1% or 2.
Yeah,
Like we were at 10% or some poor number.
Thanks.
Looking for, do you have the bills there?
I do.
Could you look at Mellon's bill? See what he says about, we picked up our white goods last week and
Well, not all of them, I don't think. Still see some out there.
Should be something, I think there's a special bill there, I don't know what it,
I saw something that said bulky waste.
right. I just wonder if they gave quantity or pounds or,
Oh, it didn't.
It was
It's
still
in the
pick-
red folder.
It's funny, I didn't see
It
it.
was still picking up on Saturday. too.
Yeah,
they were still picking up?
bulky. Eco-Maine, bulky waste, Parsonsfield. It must still really be picking up. I just see a quantity, 4.48, if you
Okay,
can make
no,
sense out of
that's all. I
that,
was
yeah.
just curious how they, all right, we'll get talking about that. All right, that's, about it?
Are we gonna talk to
All right.
David?
AC,
We're gonna
do
do
you
that
have
after the
anything
meeting, I thought, or?
Oh, dear.
spectacular?
Technically, we can't do it after the meeting.
No?
I don't know if I'm gonna fit in this chair.
Well, you've got enough stuff on to,
I was gonna say.
Yeah, well, I'm forwarding the two reports that I get from Eco-Maine,
Thank
okay? I didn't see it online available to the
Okay.
public.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So first off, I wanna start off with saying, Ricky's has done
He's done.
job, and he has left the area.
moving north.
Yes, yeah, I wish him all the best, I definitely do. I've learned a lot from him. And I know that right now on my log, we're at call number 45 for the year, for different calls. I mean, I've done quite a few calls between here and Leamington, but you guys are both pretty close. You're 45, you're 44, that we've done so far to date. So, a couple of questions to start off with is, I have no idea what you guys have budgeted for over here. For like, if I need any supplies or equipment, how would I find that out?
let's see what I can find.
What we were splitting that with Cornish, right?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, I don't do Cornish.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
do-
we
I do
haven't been
Livingston.
splitting with
Okay.
for the year.
Well, it's been a
Yeah,
while, but
Cornish has a different ACO right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I did see it in the town report somewhere, but I don't know if it included supplies.
Can you look at the budget, Debbie, and see what we budgeted last year for? Okay, so that one's coming.
Okay, excellent. So, what my proposal is similar to what I'm doing over at the other town that I cover, okay? Basically with them, they do an hourly stipend, 10-hour guarantee, okay? So, for instance, if I charge you $20 an hour, it's a 10-hour guarantee, okay? Anything over 10 hours, then you pay the $20 an hour, all right? It takes a lot to do the paperwork and everything else after a call. So that kind of comes into play with that 10-hour stipend. I know that you guys have had office hours here before. I do have a primary job, so Monday through Friday, I wouldn't be here during the daytime to be able to do office hours. There are a lot of different types of calls that can be covered, not being right here. One thing that I am going to try to push forward with your town is, like with Leamington, doing some sort of mutual aid with the ACOs that will do mutual aid with me. I've got a pretty decent rapport since I've started. So during the daytime, the only real have to go right now type of calls is dog bite if it's still in progress. If an animal has gotten hit. A lot of the other calls, if you need the cat caught, taken off the property, that type of stuff I can do after hours, which I'd end up getting done with my normal job, coming here and covering that, like I do now. So,
So what
The-
hours are you not available during the week?
well, so right now I work for a propane company, so I go in there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I usually get done around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, but if it's a light day, I can kind of scoot out a little early.
Okay, but
So,
just
yeah.
that.
So that's your base.
plus,
That's
what,
your
half an
ballpark.
hour on each side?
Yeah. Yeah.
And is that Monday through Friday?
That's Monday through Friday. All the weekends I have available. Nights I have available. And surprisingly, and I should probably knock on wood with this, most of my calls have been at night, even here. So,
So something would happen during the day, Monday through Friday, that's why you're talking mutual aid? 'Cause
correct,
it's- okay.
correct. Or I could see if I could find a deputy like what Ricky had done with me. See if I could find somebody local possibly that would be willing to do, you've got to do the training though. It's a big thing. I took 38, I've got 38 certificates right now in my file through the state of Maine that I had to do, which I was happy to do to help you guys out and to do with Leamington. All of your equipment right now is on property. We do have it locked, but it's here. So I don't use your equipment anywhere else, except for this. You guys did pay a portion of this, but I use this here and in Leamington. So, but other than that, Leamington's equipment stays on Leamington's property, your equipment stays on your property, because I do not want to mix the two. Because you guys have paid for your equipment, just like they have paid for their equipment.
What are your hours with Leamington?
Same type of
10-hour
hours.
guarantee?
Yep, 10-hour guarantee, and I will tell you that most weeks I'm doing 15 over there. So they definitely get their 10 hours and then some.
Now, what hours are they available?
I'm available at the same time.
No, I mean, Leamington,
Yep,
are they available at 10 o'clock in the morning?
no, nope, I make sure that I have somebody that can cover that. So that's where I'm talking like the
Well,
mutual aid.
who would cover the 8 to 4 if there's an emergency or a problem?
I have been having Standish come into my area if I had a call from 8 to 4, and it was warranted. Okay, like I said, this is the major calls that I have to have somebody on right then and there. But I want to say a good 75 to 80% of the calls either can be done on the phone, or I can do it after I get out of work. Because it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll work till 10 o'clock at night for you guys, or for whatever town it was that I needed to go and do the ACO call for. So, the only downfall to this is not having a full-time ACO. A lot of people's dogs are not getting licensed. So I've told Leamington this, and I will let you guys know too, that in the future, you guys are probably gonna wanna look at possibly getting a full-time ACO. Because the benefit of having a full-time ACO is they're bringing money back to offset your budget.
Okay.
And they're keeping people honest. So,
I'm not quite sure how that works in terms of dog licensing, how,
so a portion of the dog licensing goes back to the town for the ACO budget, is the way that it's supposed to be.
but how would you influence people getting their dogs licensed, I guess is what.
It's the law. So basically what happens is all of the vets around send you each month certifications that people have taken and gotten their animals the rabies vaccine. What I do over in Leamington is I take
get them,
take
okay.
that along with how many dogs have been licensed in the town.
Uh-huh.
And if I see a dog that's gotten the rabies that hasn't been licensed, that warrants a call or to go out and check.
That's something you do?
Yeah, that's
Part of your
something
10
the
hours,
ACO
is that, yep.
That's part of the ACO's job,
Mm.
yes. So,
Good to know, just
Yep.
curious.
yeah, but I will tell you that most towns that benefit from this have a full-time ACO. Because it takes a lot to compare all of that, plus handle your call volume that you have.
Mm.
You know, 44 calls in an area this size, there's a lot of people that have animals, a lot in this town. And it is it's quite a feat or a chore to make sure that you get all of it. And there's no way that I can get all of it on 10 hours a week or even a little bit more than 10 hours a week. But the state states that you have to have an ACO.
Mhm.
And that's thus
Yeah.
is why I'm here. To try and help you guys accomplish that.
So back to your question about equipment and monies, we allocate $1,500 for, that's gotta cover mileage and expenses.
Wow. That's kind of low when you figure if you have to transport animals from, say, Providence Lake area all the way up to Freiburg. That's quite a few miles.
That's true.
And I know that I've transported a couple up there, and I know Ricky's transported a couple up there. So, what happens if you run out of that?
You talk to us and we see what we can do.
Okay. All right. I know the reporting, the way that Ricky had done it in the past. As far as the mileage, I've been with a couple of different towns that I keep a mileage log that I send to the town that I'm working for. I have also been sworn into Hollis, but my Hollis volume is next to nil because Buxton covers that. It's just the occasional, but I don't have a contract with them like I'm going to do with you guys and with Leamington. So, but the reason why I brought that up is because Hollis and Leamington both have mileage logs that I have to fill out for each individual town, and it's done monthly. I turn it in once a month at the end of the month, and that way there it tells you your starting mileage, end mileage, and where you went.
Right now, Rick and Dave is putting it in on with their individual calls and the mileage for each individual call.
Yep.
It's the same thing, basically, we're still getting the information, but
Does he put down the starting mileage and ending mileage?
No,
as
just
far as
total
the-
mileage.
Okay. And that's something that you don't need is the
if you're
starting-
keeping the log yourself, all we need to know is the total. If the government comes after you,
Yep. Yeah, I keep really good records. So,
We can make you a form pretty easily, if that's what you want.
okay. Yeah, it would keep, I feel, because I like to keep track of things. I like to have a copy of everything that I do. Just like with the reports that I do are different than Ricky. I mean, I've looked over what Ricky gives to you guys, and it's pretty limited on what he gives you as far as details, just where it is and what it was. Whereas the physical reports say I needed to go to court. The DA is going to want to know everything about that, the person, what they said. Thus is why I have a camera on me, is to also cover me and the town that I work for, because this doesn't lie. And I use it on all of my calls. So, but my job not only is to enforce the laws as an animal control officer, but it's also to protect you guys from any type of, and myself, any type of suit. So I do things by the book. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Now-
Okay, my only concern is not about you,
Yep.
but about coverage when you're at work.
Mhm.
coverage from Standish.
Take
Yeah,
a while.
Standish
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to come out here because they're not abutting you.
Oh,
But-
okay, I thought you said you would be
but
getting some.
No.
No.
No, I would be looking for somebody as a deputy ACO
Yeah.
or a mutual aid, such as possibly Newfield.
Yeah.
But I have to talk to their ACO and see what kind.
Cornish?
How does payment or salary work for mutual aid?
So, this is kind of interesting. Standish doesn't seem to charge Leamington. It's kind of like if they had something and they needed me, I was around, I'd go for them.
Yeah.
So Leamington would still pay me, they would go.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a mutual aid rescue. I don't know if you guys pay Newfield to come over into
No,
Parsons.
you get a small stipend if they want.
Okay. So,
Okay.
but I do have real good rapport with the Newfield ACO. I do not so much with the Cornish or the Limerick because that individual covers both Limerick and Cornish as well as a bunch of other towns.
Mhm.
And used to cover here too.
Mhm.
So, they also covered Leamington until I came in, so,
Huh.
but,
So the towns you're covering now are,
Leamington and Parsonsfield as your deputy right
Yeah.
this second. And I'm a deputy ACO that's sworn in Hollis,
okay,
in case I'm needed. Which, since the beginning of the year, since I had gotten sworn in over there, I've done 4 calls. So, Buxton usually handles pretty good. So, it's just their after-hour stuff that we have a hard time sometimes.
Mhm.
But,
All right, well, that's my only concern, frankly.
Yep.
We really need somebody local.
right. I mean, so my other suggestion to you is put an ad in the paper, but just make sure you vet them pretty good. Let them know what they have to go
Yeah.
through.
Yep.
And, you know, this job, I mean, even for a part-time person, because that's pretty much what you have right now, is somebody that's part-time,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but expected to do full-time.
Mhm.
So, it's hard to find people like that, because there's a lot of towns around that are in the same
Yeah.
predicament.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Without a doubt.
Yep.
But for me to step up as the primary ACO, I would require $20 an hour. Okay, that gets you up to Leamington's, with a 10-hour stipend guaranteed.
That's weekly,
Yep. Yep, that's-
10,400.
Yep.
I thought that was monthly. What I know, I just,
Yep.
Sad.
So at the end of the year, it's a $10,000 plus position, okay?
Well,
and then-
the plus, you mean if you have additional time?
Correct.
We need to have, probably, if you're gonna budget a salary, we need to have a little bit more.
Correct.
Yeah, that, we can look at that.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think this is all taken under advisement and something
Correct.
that we'll discuss.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, I don't expect a
Yep.
definite yes right now.
Uh-huh.
I came in to kind of pitch you what
Yep.
I would expect,
Yep.
just to be as your primary ACO. And then, of course, the mileage, because I have my own personal vehicle that I use.
Mhm.
So for wear and tear, that's, the state standard.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no
Uh,
problem.
And to be able to utilize the office down at the end like Ricky did, that's where I would take it, put a filing cabinet for all the paperwork that I have to
Mhm.
present, keep for you guys.
Mhm.
And code to the building, just so that when you
Mhm.
guys aren't here, I'd be able to go in there and go into the office and get the
Yeah.
work done.
Yep.
So, but that is pretty much what I propose.
Mhm.
And I wish, I wish I could do more as far as being able to pick up all the daytime calls that you could possibly have, but in this day and age, this is like a secondary job for me. My primary job, there's just no way I could leave that with the bills that people have.
Mhm.
Mm.
in this day and age.
Yep, yep,
So,
okay, well, that's good.
but,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, very good, thanks for coming
Any
in.
other questions?
He said, a secondary job with a full-time responsibility.
It is, it is.
That's the killer.
Yep.
Yep, it definitely is. But, I mean, you can call Ricky, or you can call the town of Leamington and ask how they are with me.
Uh-huh.
Are they happy with me, or not? And I recommend you do that,
Oh,
actually.
yeah, we're familiar with the job
Yep.
interview process.
And
Who's got it there? Oh.
I will tell you that my filing.
I want to
is-
sign that too, Debbie.
Is up there with where it needs to be.
What do you want us to sign?
Okay,
Okay.
well, Ed's lost interest, so. Time to move on.
I know, when it comes to that big dollar amount, it does. I mean, some places do, I do lose them because of that, but it is imperative
Mhm.
to be able to offset what I do the time and everything.
Mhm.
It's very seldom that I do anything over Leamington under the 10 hours.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Wow.
okay,
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
very good.
You're
Yep.
very welcome.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks,
I
Dave. Yeah.
think the phone number right now has been updated.
Take care.
I think Danielle said you had the updated phone number, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, and I do have access to the ACO's email
Okay.
Okay.
as
Good,
well.
good.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Very good.
Have a great night.
Yeah,
You too.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks again for
You're
coming in.
welcome.
Debbie, if that's the text my gov, I wanted to sign it too. I just passed it.
Set with the meeting?
So with that, we'll close the meeting.